What if greatness slipped away? The NBA is full of legends like Michael Jordan. 6 rings, an unstoppable legacy. But some stars came this close to that level. Grant Hill, once hailed as the next Michael Jordan, averaged 21.6 points, 7.9 rebounds, and 6.3 assists per game before injuries prematurely ended his prime. Derrick Rose, the youngest MVP ever, dominated until a knee injury changed everything. And hidden gems like Chauncey Billups and Andre Iguodala quietly won titles without the spotlight. These are the stories of what could have been, raw talent, missed chances, and the fragile path to NBA immortality. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You're going to want to stick around for what's next. One of the first names that comes to mind is Grant Hill. And not just because he was good, no, this guy was special. Back in the mid-1990s, people were putting his name alongside Michael Jordan. Let that sink in. During MJ's actual prime, Grant Hill was being seen as the next big thing. And it wasn't just hype. Look at the numbers. In his first 6 seasons, Hill averaged over 21.6 points, 7.9 rebounds, and 6.3 assists per game. That's superstar production across the board. He wasn't just scoring, he was rebounding, facilitating, and leading. He made 5 All-Star appearances in those 6 years and was the kind of player who made everyone around him better. But then, the nightmare began. In 2000, Hill suffered what seemed like a minor ankle injury. Nothing crazy, but that small setback turned into something devastating. The injury lingered, got worse, and ultimately required surgery. Then came 2003. That surgery, it led to life-threatening complications. He missed an entire season, just gone. A player at his peak, suddenly fighting not just for his career, but for his life. He did come back. That's the part most people forget. But the truth? He was never the same. Still good, no doubt, but not the same explosive, dominant, complete version that once had people whispering he could be better than Jordan. Grant Hill had all the abilities. Talent, check. Work ethic, absolutely. But when your own body turns on you, sometimes all the greatness in the world just isn't enough. Let's talk about one of the most complicated stories in NBA history, Allen Iverson. On paper, his career is incredible.
What a show! The answer! He had an answer for the Laker defense that time. What a show by the little guy.
11-time All-Star, an MVP trophy, 4 scoring titles, and averages 26.7 points, 6.2 assists, and 3.7 rebounds in his entire career. Most players would dream of such a legacy. So, why does Iverson show up on a list of players who should have been all-time greats but somehow fell short? Despite all his awards, Iverson was anything but a leader in the locker room. He was labeled a clubhouse cancer by people inside the game. This wasn't just media hype, it was a real problem that affected his teams and ultimately his entire career path. We all know about the practice rant. It's almost legendary now, but that moment wasn't just a funny clip.
But we talking about practice, man. We're not even talking about the game, the actual game, when it matters. We're talking about practice.
It showed a deeper issue. Iverson butted heads constantly with coach Larry Brown during his time in Philadelphia. He showed up late to team events, including Fan Appreciation Night. Eventually, the team traded away their biggest star, the guy who brought them their most success. The most shocking moment? Years later, when Iverson signed with Memphis, he quit on the team after just 3 games, saying, "I would rather retire than be a bench player." That attitude just doesn't scream championship winner. Now, imagine if Iverson had that same explosive talent, but combined it with the team-first mindset of someone like Tim Duncan. We wouldn't just be talking about 1 MVP and 4 scoring titles. We'd be talking multiple rings and a legendary legacy, Derrick Rose. Back in 2011, Derrick Rose wasn't just any player. He was the future of the league. At just 22 years old, he became the youngest MVP in NBA history.
NBA 2010-11 MVP trophy.
After the whole Jordan era, Chicago finally had something to believe in again. Rose wasn't just playing the game, he was attacking it. He blew past defenders like they were standing still, hung in the air longer than anyone else, and somehow scored even when surrounded by big, tough defenders. He averaged 25 points and almost 8 assists a game. But what made people notice was his clutch plays, his energy, and the way he carried himself with confidence.
All-star move by an all-star starter.
Everyone thought, this guy's going to be one of the all-time greats. Then came the knee injury. It was game 1 of the 2012 playoffs. Rose jumped, landed, and everything changed.
Rose came down bad on his his left foot.
A torn ACL wiped out his entire next season and took away the explosiveness that made him special. Those highlight reel dunks turned into floaters. His fearless drives became more cautious. He adapted and still had some amazing moments, like that crazy 50-point night in Minnesota, but the clear path to greatness, that was gone. Injuries stole Derrick Rose's prime. He became one of the saddest what-ifs in NBA history, a legend in the making who never got his chapter 2. Penny Hardaway. If you were watching the NBA in the mid-90s, you know what Penny Hardaway meant to the game.
Yes, sir. It is Penny time. Hardaway, hammer time. The Anthony Penny Hardaway show has begun.
This wasn't just another talented guard. Penny was different. At 6 feet 7 inches, he moved like a point guard, passed like magic, and could rise and dunk over anyone who dared to challenge him. The moment he teamed up with young Shaq in Orlando, it felt like the future of basketball had arrived. And it wasn't just hype. By 23, Penny had already led the Magic to the NBA Finals. The team was young, flashy, and fearless, everything fans love. He became a household name, helped by those hilarious Lil Penny Nike ads. Even Trevor Ariza once claimed Penny had more skill than Michael Jordan. That's how high the belief was. But then, the injuries hit. Surgeries stacked up. Penny's bounce disappeared. He dropped 42 in a 1997 playoff game against Miami. That was the last glimpse of the real Penny. After that, he was never the same. He still played 14 seasons, but the version of Penny that fans fell in love with? He was gone way too soon. He had all-time great potential. We never got to see the full story unfold. Jamal Murray and modern. What ifs? Not every what if is a story from the past. Some are still unfolding right in front of us. And Jamal Murray might be the biggest one today. Back in 2021, Denver looked scary. They had just traded for Aaron Gordon and the chemistry clicked instantly. With Murray, Jokic, Gordon, and Michael Porter Jr. all on the floor, the Nuggets weren't just good. They were dominating, outscoring opponents by 18 points per 100 possessions. They looked like real-deal title contenders. Then, everything stopped. Murray tore his ACL.
Down and hurt. Oh my goodness. Oh no.
Just like that, the season was over. But it didn't just ruin one playoff run. It might have changed the course of NBA history. Some fans believe that if Murray had never gotten hurt, the Nuggets might be 3-time champions right now.
Jamal, just 2 years ago this time, you were barely able to walk, but you vowed to come back.
And honestly, that's not a wild take. Because Murray was playing out of his mind. He wasn't just good. He was Bubble Jamal, dropping 50, hitting clutch shots, carrying Denver when it mattered most. Now imagine that version of Murray for 3 straight seasons. That's an all-time great. The GOAT debate still gets the spotlight, but for some players, it's not about talent, skill, or mentality. It's just about health, and sometimes that's the only thing standing between greatness and what could have been. These stories aren't just about missed opportunities. They reveal how fragile greatness is. They make us value the legends even more and celebrate the incredible talent of those who came this close but never quite crossed the line. Thanks for sticking around through these unforgettable NBA what-if stories. Which player's journey hit the hardest, or who truly deserved a spot among the all-time greats? Share thoughts in the comments. It's always great to hear different takes. If this deep dive into basketball's most compelling almost legends was enjoyed, hit subscribe and ring the bell to never miss a video like this. There's plenty more NBA history and untold stories on the way. Until next time, keep appreciating the game. Not just the stars who made it, but the ones who almost did.